In 1908, an Italian archaeologist discovered a clay disc covered in symbols, 241 characters arranged in a perfect spiral. It looked like writing. It looked like a message. 116 years later, we still can't read it. The Phaistos Disc has driven linguists to madness and sparked hundreds of failed translations. Some claim it's a religious hymn. Others say it's a hoax. A few believe it's not even human. 1 artifact. 45 unique symbols. Zero consensus on what any of it means. And the most disturbing part? If this disc is real, it represents an entire civilization's writing system that was used once, then vanished without a trace. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this single object is archaeology's most maddening mystery. Hit subscribe. This goes deeper than you think. July 3, 1908. Phaistos Palace, Crete. Italian archaeologist Luigi Pernier uncovers something extraordinary in a basement storage room. What he found: a fired clay disc, 16 centimeters across. 241 symbols stamped on both sides, arranged in spiral patterns, reading rim to center. 45 distinct symbol types, each symbol stamped with individual seals. Movable type. 3,000 years before Gutenberg, the characters depict recognizable objects. Human figures walking, running tools. Bows, shields, axes, plows. Animals. Birds, fish, cats. Plants. Trees, flowers, grain. Objects. Ships, buildings, mysterious geometric shapes. The context found with linear A tablets, another undeciphered Minoan script, pottery and artifacts dating to 1700 to 1600 BCE. Fire destruction. Layer. No other examples of this script anywhere. What makes it unique? The printing technology is revolutionary. Each symbol created with reusable stamps, identical impressions each time. Occasional overlaps showing stamping errors could theoretically mass-produce copies. Only one disc has ever been found. No stamps, no practice texts, no other documents. Just this single, perfect message that nobody can read. If a 3,800-year-old message we can't decipher fascinates you, drop a like. The mystery gets stranger. For over a century, scholars have tried to crack the code. Every attempt has failed. The pattern of failure. Every decipherment follows the same path. Scholar assumes a language, Greek, Minoan, Anatolian, assigns meanings to symbols, produces a translation. Other experts examine it, find fatal flaws, reject it. Notable attempts. Benjamin Schwartz, 1959, claimed it was a Greek war calendar translation, described troop movements problem. His method could generate any meaning he wanted. Dutch team, 1980s, proposed Anatolian Luwian language, read it as a hymn to a goddess problem. Symbol identifications were pure speculation. Gareth Owens, 2014, claimed 90% deciphered, said it was a prayer to Minoan goddess, generated massive media coverage problem. Based on questionable linear A assumptions, method could produce multiple contradictory translations. Why? They all fail. 3 fundamental problems destroy every attempt. Frowny face. Problem 1. Unknown language. We don't know what language it represents. Can't verify any translation without knowing the language. It's like trying to solve an equation with 2 unknowns, only 241 symbols to work with, no comparison text, no Rosetta Stone equivalent, can't cross-check translations. A walking man could mean man, walk, go, person, journey, human. Every symbol has multiple possible meanings. Scholars pick the meanings that fit their theory. With 45 symbols, 241 uses, and multiple possible meanings, you can generate thousands of different translations. Without external verification, there's no way to know which, if any, is correct. What we actually know: despite failed decipherments, analysis reveals symbols show frequency patterns like real language. Groupings suggest words or phrases. Structure implies grammar or syntax, but meaning remains completely unknown. After 116 years and hundreds of attempts, nobody can agree. What's your theory? Genuine ancient mystery or elaborate hoax? Drop your thoughts below. Not everyone believes the disc is real. Some scholars argue it's one of archaeology's greatest frauds. The case for hoax several suspicious factors fuel doubt. Only one has ever been found, not in Crete. Not anywhere in the Mediterranean. No other artifacts with these symbols. No practice texts, drafts, or related documents. If the script was actually used, we'd expect more examples, at least some fragments or partial texts, evidence of the stamp seals themselves, some trace of the culture that used it. Movable type printing 3,000 years before Gutenberg implies mass production capability, yet only one disk exists. Why develop this technology for a single document? Discovered in 1908 during Minoan archaeology boom, Arthur Evans's Gnosis work was generating excitement. Market for Minoan antiquities was strong. Financial incentive for fakes was high. Found during excavation, easy to plant. Associated dating relies on surrounding artifacts. Layer could have been disturbed. Pernier's documentation has been questioned. Jerome Eisenberg's arguments. Art dealer Jerome Eisenberg has been the most vocal skeptic. His claims: symbols are too eclectic, mixing styles from different periods. Some resemble Egyptian, Anatolian, later Greek elements. Technology is impossibly advanced for Bronze Age. The singularity is inherently suspicious. Discovery timing is too convenient. The defense of authenticity: most scholars believe it's genuine. Found in legitimate excavation context associated with datable artifacts. Bernier was respected archaeologist. No evidence of fraud in his career. Clay composition matches Bronze Age Cretan ceramics. Firing techniques consistent with period patina, and where consistent with age. No modern materials detected. Creating a convincing fake would require extensive knowledge of Minoan culture, skill in ancient ceramic techniques. Creating 45 individual authentic-looking stamps. Understanding of ancient writing systems. Fooling expert. Examination for 115+ years. Many archaeological objects are one of a kind. Antikythera mechanism, ancient computer. Countless unique artifacts survive. Loss and survival are random. Absence doesn't prove forgery. The verdict: about 80% of scholars accept it as genuine. 20% remain skeptical. The debate continues with no resolution. Even without reading it, we can make educated guesses about content based on structure and context. Possibility 1. Religious text arguments. 4. Found in palace with religious functions. Length fits hymn or prayer. Spiral has ritual significance in Minoan culture. Repetitive structure suggests liturgical language. Most Bronze Age preserved texts are religious. If it's religious, it might be hymn to a deity. Ritual instructions, prayer or incantation. Creation myth, festival, calendar. Possibility 2. Administrative document arguments. 4. Palaces were administrative centers found with linear administrative tablets. Group symbols might be items and quantities, could be tribute list or inventory. Problem: why use elaborate spiral format for simple accounting? Linear tablets were for administration. Why create more complex system? Possibility 3. Historical or literary text arguments. 4. Length suggests narrative symbols show people, events, actions. Permanent medium suggests important content. Could be myth, legend, historical record. Some speculative ideas: migration story, people walking, boats, battle or conquest, warriors, weapons, royal achievements. Origin tale. Possibility 4. Magical text arguments. 4. Bronze Age cultures used written spells. Spiral has magical significance. Uniqueness might indicate powerful, restricted text. Some symbols, eye, hand, appear in magical context. Possibility 5. Game instructions arguments. 4. Could be rules for board game. Spiral might be the game board itself. Ancient peoples had complex games with written rules. Would explain elaborate format. Problem: found in context with administrative documents, not gaming materials. What structure suggests without knowing meaning? Patterns reveal repetition. Certain symbols appear frequently suggests grammatical particles or repeated phrases consistent with natural language. Grouping: 61 groups total, 31 on side A, 30 on side B. Groups vary. 2 to 7 symbols likely represent words or phrases. Frequency distribution: some symbols common, others rare. Pattern matches natural languages, not random, not completely regular. Most likely answer based on everything we know. Most probable: religious or ceremonial text. Second, literary or historical narrative. Less likely. Administrative document. Unlikely. Game, hoax, or pure decoration, but we may never know for certain. The Phaistos Disc is more than a curiosity. It reveals profound truths about knowledge, history, and what we've lost. Lost writing systems. The disc reminds us how many scripts we can't read. Undeciphered scripts. Linear A, Minoan Crete, Etruscan, partially understood, Proto-Elamite Iran, Indus Valley script Rongo, Easter Island. Many others. Writing systems disappear when cultures are conquered, languages go extinct, materials decay, knowledge isn't transmitted, disasters destroy documents. The technology question, if genuine. The disc proves. Bronze Age. Crete had movable type printing 3,000 years before Gutenberg. Shows lost technological sophistication, raises questions about other lost knowledge. Why didn't it spread? Did it spread but evidence hasn't survived? Was it restricted to specific uses? Did Bronze Age collapse destroy the knowledge? Was it an experimental dead end? The survival problem. The disc highlights a harsh reality. What we find is a tiny fraction of what existed. Organic materials decay, papyrus, wood, leather, objects destroyed by fire, water, war, reuse, and recycling eliminate artifacts. Most ancient documents are lost forever. For every unique object found, how many similar objects existed? How many writing systems left no trace? How many technologies vanished completely? Implications for Minoan civilization. If Minoans or their visitors had multiple writing systems, movable type technology, specialized scribes, documents for various purposes, then their civilization was far more sophisticated than surviving evidence suggests. The limits of knowledge. The disc is humbling. We can possess an object and not understand it. Physical evidence isn't always enough. Some ancient knowledge is irretrievably lost. The past remains fundamentally alien. The value of mystery in an age where Google answers everything instantly. No place remains unexplored. DNA reveals all secrets. The Phaistos Disc remains genuinely unknowable. That's precious. What would it take to finally read the disc? Scenario 1. Find more examples. If archaeologists discovered more discs with the same script, longer texts for context, bilingual documents. The stamp seals themselves. Archaeological context explaining purpose, probability low but possible. Minoan sites still yield surprises. Many areas remain unexcavated. Underwater archaeology might find shipwrecks. Private collections might have unstudied pieces. Scenario 2. Decipher linear A. If we crack linear A, we'd understand. Minoan language could apply knowledge to Phaistos Disc, might recognize patterns, could identify related words. Progress. About 1,400 linear A documents exist. Some progress made, but full decipherment remains. Distant language might not be Indo-European. Scenario 3. AI breakthroughs. Modern technology might help. Machine learning analyzing patterns, statistical comparison to all known languages, simulation of grammatical possibilities, quantum computing, processing scenarios. Current efforts. Teams using big data analysis, computer modeling, phonetic possibilities. Digital humanities approaches limitations. AI can find patterns but can't invent meaning, needs reference data to learn, can't substitute human intuition, only tests hypotheses we give it. The realistic assessment. Most experts believe full decipherment unlikely. Without more examples, we may never know with certainty. The disc will probably remain mysterious. That's okay. Mystery has value. Ongoing research despite challenges. Heraclean Museum preserves the disc. Scholars publish new analyses regularly. Conferences discuss theories. Public interest keeps mystery alive. New generations try fresh approaches. The case for leaving it unsolved. Perhaps the disc doesn't need decipherment. Drives continued research, keeps public engaged with archaeology, reminds us of knowledge limits, preserves wonder in explained world, challenges our assumptions. Beyond the mystery itself, the Phaistos Disc offers profound lessons. Lesson 1. Evidence isn't always enough. We have the disc. We can analyze it. We know it's real and ancient, yet we can't read it. The implication: understanding requires more than artifacts. It needs context, comparison, and cultural knowledge that may be forever lost. Lesson 2. Uniqueness is dangerous. Singularity makes verification impossible. One object is a mystery. Two objects is a pattern. Three is a system. Archaeological principle: without comparison, we can't distinguish truth from speculation. Lesson 3. Technology can be lost if the printing technology is real. An advanced invention vanished for millennia. Historical truth: progress isn't inevitable. Knowledge can be lost. Innovation doesn't automatically spread or persist. Lesson 4. The past remains alien despite centuries of research. Ancient civilizations remain fundamentally foreign. The reality: ancient peoples thought, communicated, and recorded information in ways we might never comprehend. Lesson 5. Interpretation reflects the interpreter. The disc's history shows. Engineers see, technology linguists see, language religious scholars see, sacred text skeptics see. Hoax: what we see reveals what we expect to find. Lesson 6. Some questions have no answers. Not everything can be solved. Some mysteries resist solution despite our best efforts. The acceptance: admitting we don't know is valid. Uncertainty is okay. Mystery has value. The broader message: the Phaistos Disc stands for all lost knowledge. Languages that died, unrecorded technologies that vanished, cultures that left minimal traces, stories that were never written down, wisdom that wasn't transmitted. The sobering truth: most of human history is lost. Most ancient knowledge is gone. Most voices are silent. The disc is a rare survivor of that vast silence. A message that made it through 3,800 years but remains locked, unreadable. A voice from the past that we can hear but cannot understand. The Phaistos Disc sits in a museum in Crete. You can see photographs online. Scholars have analyzed every millimeter. We know its composition, dimensions, and age. And we have absolutely no idea what it says. After 116 years, hundreds of decipherment attempts, modern computer analysis, and passionate debate, the disc remains as mysterious as when Luigi Pernier discovered it. Maybe that's appropriate. Maybe some messages are meant to stay unread. Maybe the disc's value isn't in what it says, but in what it represents. A permanent reminder that the past holds secrets we may never unlock, knowledge we may never recover, voices we may never hear. Or maybe tomorrow brings a breakthrough. Maybe the next excavation finds another disc. Maybe AI cracks the code. Maybe the solution was always there, waiting for someone to see it. Until then, the Phaistos Disc remains what it has always been. 241 symbols arranged in a spiral, a message from 3,800 years ago, speaking in a voice we cannot understand, telling a story we may never know. If this journey into archaeology's most frustrating mystery has fascinated you, smash that like button and subscribe for more historical puzzles that defy solution. And here's my question: do you think we'll ever decipher the Phaistos Disc? Or will it remain mysterious forever? Cast your vote in the comments. Hit that notification bell. Until then, remember, some questions have no answers, and that's what makes them worth asking.